Hey, this is Pastor Chris, and I just wanted to take a moment to welcome you to our History Small Group season here at Evangel. I'm so thankful that you chose to take the time to come together and dig deeper into God's Word. I talked about it as we started this series, that it's important for us to read God's Word and to read it deep and wide. And there's one thing about us coming together to dive into God's Word collectively as a church and as a congregation, but something special happens when you dive deep into God's Word in community, in a small group. We say this, that circles are stronger than rows. What happens in these small group gatherings, I believe, have the power to change your life and change your relationship with God. So lean in over the next 8 weeks and get the most out of this experience. I pray that God will allow you to be knit together with those that you're walking this journey with, and that God will challenge you through His Word. Well, this week, as we looked at the life of Abraham, we saw an example of someone that truly exhibited a radical faith in God. And we talked about how faith is really radical obedience to the call and promise of God. And for us, it's such a challenge because I believe truly, as a church, we become conditioned to rational obedience. We will only obey God to the point that it makes sense to us. But the call of faith is a call to radical obedience. Will you bring your Isaac? Will you be willing to say, God, you have me completely? That challenges us at every core. And I pray that as you've been reading God's Word, you see time and again this week how God calls His followers to a life of faith, of radical obedience to His call. And when we do that, we see God do amazing, life-changing things. Well, we're going to take some time in groups tonight to dive deeper into God's Word. And so I'm excited that our discipleship coordinator, Bobby Nemeth, he's going to take in just a few moments and he's going to continue to unpackage the gospel according to Abraham and really help us unearth some deeper truths from God's Word that connect us back. So remember to live in that faith, that radical obedience to God. It wasn't just something that we saw in Abraham's life, of course. His story is Jesus' story. He's the author, and we saw that radical obedience that Jesus modeled when He said, I only do what the Father is doing. And in the life of His followers in the New Testament church, may that be our story as well. So enjoy groups tonight and enjoy diving deeper now into God's Word in the life of Abraham.